Hello, my name is Rob Kinslow, and like you, I'm a PMP. I studied really hard for the PMP exam. It's a very difficult test. One of the most important areas you're going to need to know is the 49 processes. To know those, you need to know what the 5 process groups are and what the 10 knowledge areas are. And it helps if you have some mnemonics. And in this video, I'm going to attempt to show you a much easier way to remember the way these all go together in a visual way, so that you can more easily create a cheat sheet on the day of the test and do that in less than 5 minutes, okay? So if that sounds good, let's get started. First, you create a matrix like this with the 10 knowledge areas and the 5 process groups. And then there's some numbers to remember. For example, what is the mnemonic for these 10 knowledge areas? For me, the easiest way to remember that is ISSCQRCRPS. And by that I mean ISSCQRCRPS. And of course, those stand for integration, scope, schedule, cost, quality, resources, communications, risk, procurement, and stakeholders. And if you can go ISSCQRCRPS, then you know the 10 here. And of course, you must know the 5 process groups: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. And you can create your own mnemonics for that if you want, but I just remember initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. So then there's 5 process groups there, and then there's this column here that tells you how many processes are in each knowledge area. And that is more like a phone number, and it goes like this: 766 436 3734. Okay, so if you can remember 766 436 3734, then you can double check yourself once you're done as to how many processes, activities are in each knowledge area. Okay, so now we have an empty box. We have the numbers of each activity laid out. We have everything ready to go. We just need to fill it out. But before we get started, I want to ask you, what's not in this box? You know, we have 5 columns and we have 10 rows, and that means there's 50 empty boxes here. But actually, not all of the boxes have process activities in them. And the way to remember that is to remember 8, 3, 9. So I put 8, 3, 9 above each of these, starting at initiating, skip 1, go to executing, skip 1, go to closing, 9. So what that means is we're going to do the outside of the box. There are no process activities in these 9 areas. Of course, there is one in closing, and what is that? That's close project. So let's go the whole way over to this other corner and nail down the corners. The very first process that you do is develop project charter. Very first project. And then, since I have an 8 here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this last one here is a very simple one. It's very important for the test to know this process, and it's ID stakeholders. And what I've done is I've taken every activity in every knowledge area and process group, and I've assigned an acronym to it. For example, design, develop project charter is DPC, identify stakeholders is IDSH, and close project is CP, and so on. So we're going to explore and actually fill out this whole box going forward. Okay, so let's get started on the outsides of the box again. So when you identify stakeholder, the next thing to do is plan stakeholder engagement, and then manage stakeholder engagement, and then monitor stakeholder engagement. Okay, so now we got the bottom row, and we can now fill out this 3 here. What is this 3? Well, this 3 says that the triple bottom line and the triple constraints of scope, schedule, cost have no executing activities. So now we can just fill out this U-shaped box here that consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 boxes. So we've taken, with very little minimal effort, we've taken that 50 box thing and we've reduced it down to 23 boxes. And so that means that 8 and 3 is 11 and 9 is 20. That means that 20 of these boxes are not filled. Okay, so now we can really start grooving on this process and fill out the rest of the boxes. So develop project management plan, right? And I like to go this way across the box because then I can check them against these numbers here. And that's the whole purpose of these numbers, is to check that you got the right amount, because there's some confusing stuff right in here. So develop project management plan, and then DM, oops, lost my pencil, lead, PW, and manage project knowledge, right? I'm just going to read out the acronyms, MCPW, and then PICC, and then close project. And then all the planning begin with a plan. So every planning activity, the very first thing you do is develop a plan. It makes sense, right? Collect requirements, DS and WBS, right? And develop schedule. Okay, so let's go over here. This is VS, validate scope, and control scope. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got one more. So what's the schedule monitoring and controlling, right? Well, of course, it's control schedule. And then we do cost, and we got plan cost management, right? And then we got estimate cost, and then we got develop budget. Right, so 1, 2, 3, we got 4, so we just need one more here. We're doing costs, so we're controlling costs. And then quality, well, there's only one activity in quality, is plan quality management. And then manage according to that plan. And then control quality. And 3, great. Resources. So we got plan resource management, right? Starting with a plan. And then ID resources. And then no, that's wrong. I'm doing risk. See, there's a confusing thing. So you have to go estimate activity resources. There we go. So now we got 2, and then you assemble, you acquire resources, and then you develop team, and then you manage team. And then you can't control you can control material resources, but you can't control human resources. So what we usually put here is control resources with an understanding that it means to control material resources. Okay, and then communications is just plan communications management, much like plan quality management. And then you MC, you manage it, and then you monitor it. Because you can't control everybody's communications. 1, 2, 3, you got 6 over here, you got 3 there. So we're on our way to being done. We got 1, 2 yet to do. So then we got risk, and then we got plan risk management, and then ID risks. And then we have these 2 confusing ones, PQRA, which is plan quantitative risk analysis, and then plan qualitative risk analysis, and then plan risk response, right? And then ID risk, implement risk response, and then monitor risk, because you can never control your risk. You can only monitor your risks. And then we just have one more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Perfect. Procurement, plan procurement management, PPM. And then conduct procurement under the managing and executing. And then control procurement. And you see that these 2 and these 2 have the same acronym, but you have to know what difference between conduct and control. And now we're done. We got our 49 process matrix laid out. So if you lay it out with the 10 rows and the 5 columns, and then you put these mnemonics 766, 436, 3734, and you do the ISSCQ, RCRPS over here. Then you can work from the outsides in to the middle and get these very difficult ones here in the middle completed. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Good luck on your test. I hope you pass it on the first try. And I hope this has helped you get your 49 processes nailed every time. Practice this several times a day, perhaps, or even several times a week. But you certainly should be able to do this in about 5 minutes before the exam. Sounds good? Good luck. Take care. See you later.